Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know what it is. You good. You good. And you already know what it do. One time for the fan. We are back. We are feeling good. We are feeling great. Chase, how you doing over there, sir?
Doing good, bro. Can't complain. One day away from the draft. So excited on this end.
We are definitely excited. Falcon fans, I know you are excited too as well. Welcome to another podcast here, One Time for the Fan. This is episode 98
98.
for us. 99
As Buddy would
tomorrow.
say, we back.
Yeah, we back. 99 tomorrow, 100 on Monday. We got our 100 episode coming up. Got Miles Garrett from Fox 5 Atlanta going to be joining us, talking Falcons football with us. This kind of view kind of looks, there it is. That's the view I'm looking for. The view looks a little bit better there. We ain't got no, we ain't got no sponsors or nothing, so everything hood. We got a hood podcast. Nah, you slang. Had to change the view for those watching. For those that will be listening on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you'll be checking it out on, definitely we have a lot going on here on One Time for the Fan. So welcome to another episode of One Time for the Fan. Falcons fans in the chat, you already know it's lit. Chase, no Bodie tonight, so it's just us.
Yep.
No special guests either, but we got some special guests tomorrow night. We got a lot of Falcon fans that are going to be joining us talking Falcons football because the draft is tomorrow night. This is our final draft report. All the talking that we've been doing, all the podcasting that we've been doing over the past couple of weeks and months and whatever now leads up to less than 24 hours from now. We'll be watching the screens as I'm doing right now because I'm watching Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft on NFL Network. But yes, 24 hours from now is going to be a big day for a lot of Falcon fans here. A big day for a lot of players who's going to be entering the NFL. A lot of families too as well for some of these players. And some of these teams too as well, because there's a lot of talent that is going to be entering this year to this new season. One who I'm looking at right now on TV that's getting a lot of talk, Will Levis could be selected in the top 3 tomorrow.
I've seen that one possibly.
It's even possible that he could be the number 1 quarterback off the board, but there's a lot to go over here on One Time for the Fan. Before we do that, Chase, how you been doing? How's everything going for you, sir? We haven't talked to you since the last podcast, but I'm glad you're here. And we're talking Falcons football tonight. So how's it going, sir?
Man, it's going great, dog. Actually, today, since you asked, had my little 24-week checkup on the little baby. Everything was good. So God bless. All prayers, everything was good. So thanks to everybody that said a little prayer for me. God's been looking out for this kid. So I can't complain, man. Everything's been going great. What about you?
That's a good feeling. I'm glad everything's going well. And once again, congratulations to you.
Yes, sir.
If I don't know, we need to take a One Time for the Fan trip down to Baxley and get the red carpet rolled out for us when the baby is born. Or even if you want to bring the wife to Atlanta and have the baby in Atlanta, that would be something nice too as well. I have a hospital to recommend for you too. But yes, this is just an amazing moment, not only for you, but of course going on for the Atlanta Falcons too as well. I mean, we've been talking all day in the chat. All day in the chat, we've been talking about what the Falcons can do tomorrow, and if any other move would be made today to see if you sign maybe a running back, you sign maybe a guard, kind of put silence or
somebody I've been keeping my eye on, signing wise is Leonard Floyd, man. I've seen a lot of hype around his name, potentially coming back to the A. I heard he was from the A. I didn't know that, but I know he played with the Bulldogs, so that's just a name to look out for, dropping it here on One Time for the Fan live.
Leonard Floyd, still a free agent right now. I personally think the moves that was made around not getting Leonard Floyd kind of looks like we probably won't target him. The Bud Dupree move, the Calais Campbell move, Kendall Ellis too as well. So it's kind of tough to see that. But if Leonard Floyd would find a way to fit, even Falcon fans were calling out Chase Young. The Washington Commander news about the Chase Young situation. Falcon fans were tagging me up today. What do we do? What should we do? Was that a move you would make? And I kind of said, yeah, you look at the news and it's interesting, but I think our draft plans are set on what we want to do. So I don't know if we're going to be able to, just 24 hours before the draft gets boom, up and just make a trade, just go ahead for Chase Young. But then again, who knows what Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot has planned. You never know. But for me as a fan, it's kind of like the Lamar Jackson situation. I don't see it happening, but it's just news that Falcon fans love to talk about, love to hear, and here on the chat and the channel we're going to talk about it. So shout out to all the fans in the chat. Hashtag the fan club. Hashtag one timers. 24 hours before the draft. Our final one time for the fan draft report. Don't forget we're here live tomorrow, 8:00. We are live tomorrow for the first round. We are not doing like last year. We did 3 rounds last year. All three days over 12 hours. We ain't doing that no more. We ain't doing that. We just gonna do the one day.
Sleep on the stream, wasn't it?
Sheesh, almost. It was tough, but shout out to all the content creators who's gonna do it. We did it last year, so we're cool on doing that this year. But we're gonna do the one stream tomorrow. We're gonna have a lot of Falcon fans join us on the podcast, talk some Falcons football, watch the draft, give y'all some reactions about some of these picks going on. We've done so much here on the chat and the channel, Chase. The mock drafts that we've done, bringing up so many reports on some of these players that could be selected tomorrow and this weekend with the Atlanta Falcons. That it's here. It's literally here, Chase. This is it. The next podcast that we do after we cut this off tomorrow, it's go time. So this is going to be exciting.
Definitely exciting. Just to even have football back on TV, something with the NFL is definitely exciting. And it just lets you know as a fan, football's right around the corner.
So one thing I wanted to talk about too as well. In chat, we're going to get to y'all. Matter of fact, let's get to the chat real quick. I know the chat's lit. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. Stream y'all comments. Where the hell you come from? Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. You already know we're talking Falcons football. We got the fans in the chat. Deshaun's up in here. He said, now walk it out. Now walk it out. Now walk it out. Yeet.
What's good, Deshaun?
You already know Deshaun's lit. We ready. Jeff Wolf, 805. Technical difficulties.
Definitely ready to call somebody up.
Technical difficulties. One time for the fan. My boy Jeff Wolf was in the chat, man. Bubba Gump is in the chat, man. What's good? He said under 24 hours. We are ready.
Yes, sir.
We are ready. Am I on? Okay, good. Now I'm checking the esports out. Shout out to Carrie. Carrie will be with us tomorrow night. Here on One Time for the Fan. She said, "What's up, Jack and Chase? See y'all tomorrow for the big day." It's like a holiday. It's like a holiday out here. I don't know if I should take off work or not. Chase, what should I do? Should I go to work or take off? Or?
It's tempting, dog. It's very tempting, even to take the day after off.
It's tough, man. Tough. Waking up in the morning, seeing all the news, the coverage. You never know what can happen during the day. I mean, last year, it wasn't too much exciting for the Atlanta Falcons news going on during the day. Pretty quiet up until the draft, but seeing so much happening right now in the NFL. I mean, Aaron Rodgers news was big since the last time we talked about this on the podcast, that we play the Jets this year. Mm-hmm. We go to New York. It was supposed to be Desmond Ridder versus Zach Wilson. Still could be. Don't know how the schedule is going to shape on May the 11th. But Aaron Rodgers is there. Changes the whole dynamic of the game scenario now. You're playing a tough team now. Right? So let's just get that out the way real quick. Matthew Bass is in the chat. Hey, fellas, rise up. Keep up the good work. Matthew Bass, shout out to you, sir.
Appreciate it, Matthew. Appreciate it.
One of the winners of our first-time raffle, Matthew Bass, got his signed Kyle Pitts jersey. His signed
ticket.
Huh?
Was he the tickets?
He won the tickets too as well. The Chicago Falcons Chicago, and he also received the Kyle Pitts signed jersey too as well.
Boy walked away with a bag.
Shout out to Matthew Bass in the chat. Drake True Statements up in the chat. You said, "What's good, fellas? What's good? All the one timers. Hashtag one timers. Hashtag fan club." Sheesh. My boy jumped in there and said, sheesh. Yeah, carries up in the chat. She said, I know this is a Falcons pod and I'm excited for tomorrow. But side note, Jack, how about them City boys? Big win today, 4-1. Thought it was going to be 4-0. Give up a great goal at the end to Arsenal. We're talking soccer here, Chase. So shout out to Man City. Shout out to all the fans too as well. Here's a big Man City fan. But yeah, Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne went crazy. I think Haaland had 2 assists. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, but they went slap today. I was at work watching most of it when I can on the TV. But yeah, it was. We was lit today. So shout out to the Blues, man. Manchester City, another 3 points. You got to move up. Let's see here. Drake, you statement. Y'all may kill me for this take, but I can truly see why teams like Levis. The dangerous part is they're going off of his potential. The Colts would be the perfect team for him. I'm hearing from what I seen.
Got a nice arm.
This is what I seen about an hour and a half ago on Twitter. It was from NBC football something. It's one of the NBC's pages. They said Texans are preparing to take Will Levis at 2. That's what the report has said.
Over CJ Stroud.
And this is one of the NBC reports. This is not me telling you. I'm just letting you know what I've seen. I'm going to try to find the article for you on Twitter, but it said that the Texans are preparing to take Will Levis.
Man, I've seen a rumor.
News for your ears, Falcon fans.
I've seen where he could be number 1 to the Panthers. That's something to look at, man. That changes everybody's draft board.
2 times out of my 4 times I've done a draft, CJ Stroud was sitting there at the 7th pick, went to the Raiders. So just keep that in mind too as well. And those computer generated, but it's just something to look at too, Falcons fans. I don't know why I got this feeling we trade back tomorrow. Been looking for a trade with the Titans possibly. Yep, I hear you, Dre. What's up, Chase?
Imagine if CJ Stroud dropped 8. Is that a move that the Falcons make?
I wouldn't do that. You've already had all the offseason talk about the Lamar Jackson situation, the media going off on Desmond Ridder. You don't want that right now. You really don't want that in the building. You got Tyler Heineke. Plus, you're playing Tyler Heineke some good bread too as well. This ain't no cheap deal for a backup quarterback. And plus, Tyler has already shown that. Taylor Heineke. Keep getting him mixed up with the running back, but Taylor's kind of shown that he can win in this league. He's beat us twice too as well along that path. He can win. So Desmond has a problem. There's a situation where the Falcons have to pull Desmond, and we hope no injury ever happens. Never hope that. We want every single player 100%. But performance-wise, if Ridder can't get it done, and here comes Taylor to finish the season, this is what I wanted to talk about before we get to some of our draft coverage. What if Ridder doesn't get it done this season? Where do you go? I wanted to talk about that on Sunday, but we was kind of tied up. But he kind of played into what I was telling you about. The Levis situation and CJ Stroud and drafting a quarterback that has potential to be the starter. This is not the year for that because you have Taylor Heineke. But if Ridder can't get it done, I'm going to stand by it and say your first round pick next year is going to be a quarterback. And you might not like it because you're not hearing about no big name quarterbacks right now, but you're not getting none of the rookie quarterbacks. Not rookie quarterbacks. You're not getting none of those veteran quarterbacks that's available next season. Because Cincinnati's going to lock up Burrow. Chargers going to lock up.
If he was going better.
Go ahead, Chase.
I was just saying, this was the season or the off season. If you were going to go veteran quarterback, this was the off season to do so.
This was definitely the veteran. This was definitely the off season to go get that quarterback. And then last year, I think would have been the off season to go draft one. Which of course Desmond Ridder was that guy. Or the year before that was one with Justin Fields, and everybody wanted Fields that draft. So you missed on that one too as well. You selected Ridder last year. He's going into his second season. Still some treat him as a rookie. But the disrespect from some of the media this offseason was just embarrassing. To say the least, from some of the NFL media over a quarterback who is getting ready to look at this roster and look at this team. I mean, I think Calais Campbell said it. I think we're really destined for greatness here.
Yeah.
And it's everything. A lot of things are on paper, but Chase, Desmond Ridder doesn't get it done this season. And this for I know there's some people in the chat listening and watching that's going to say, God, I'm glad you guys are talking about this because I know you guys are heavy on Ridder. But there are some fans that's like they're not heavy on Ridder. So they want to know this question too as well. If Ritter doesn't get it done this season, what do you think the Falcons' direction is to go next year? I think you're going to use the first round pick and draft a quarterback. That's going to be your franchise guy. You're going to have Taylor on that 2-year deal still as well. It's going to be on 1 year at that point. He can come in, still mentor the rookie, and there might be that competition battle. You might see that. But it's going to be some some big name rookie in the first round versus, what fans wanted in the third. If Ritter does have a good season, then of course Ritter's going to be back here leading the Falcons, for years to come. But what happens if Ritter doesn't get it done this season? If he is pulled week 7, the Falcons are 2-5, or damn, I hate to say that. I don't ever want to say that. 2-5, or 3-4, or 3-5, and the Falcons had to make the decision. Like, look, we're better off going with Taylor now to try to win. Seeing how the NFC South was last year, it could be the same way this year, even with losing record. So, what are your thoughts on just if Ritter can't get it done this season?
Man, if Ritter couldn't get it done, I would definitely be blowed really high on Ritter. It would definitely probably be a first round draft pick. If you're in a season and at the point where you have to draft or drop your bench your quarterback, you're probably not making the playoffs. So you're probably looking at a top 10 pick. And if he ain't in the top 10, you're probably going to draft into it. So unless there's some trade scenario where somebody just has a disagreement with their team, some veteran quarterback that's really good. There's not many on the market next season. So, I would definitely say first round draft pick.
I don't see no other move. Even looking at some of these rosters, some of these teams, I mean, you might see like a Tua available added to the list. But do you guys want Tua? No, I don't think we want Tua. You know what I'm saying? But I want to fast forward to next year. Let's go ahead and get to what we got going on this season. The one time for the fan group is all behind Ritter. And of course, we stand with this team. But there's a lot of people questioning what's going to happen next year. That's why they wanted the Lamar Jackson. So we can lock him up. Oh, he'll be here 5-6 years. Don't worry about a quarterback years from now. Now we're riding with Ritter. And if the situation does happen where he doesn't, get the job done, then you have Taylor Heineke to come in and help get the job done, which you should be confident in because he's a decent backup quarterback. He's a very decent backup quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, he put his team almost on a playoff run last year with the Commanders. That's a team that he's got a decent receiver one that way, but other than that, tight end's not too great. This is a kid that he's got some wheels and it kind of fits in with Arthur Smith's scheme. So definitely a good backup.
Definitely fits. Falcon fans will be in the chat going lit. Shout out to everybody coming in from the Falcons groups, Falcons Rise Up Family, Falcons Nation, Rise Up Tour. So many groups, wherever you guys post it, share it, like it, hit that subscribe button. We're doing it for y'all. So we almost have 400 subscribers too. So look out for us. We'll be looking out for y'all this season. We have a lot of content coming your way. No Bodie tonight. He'll be back tomorrow for our live draft podcast. Kerry, who'll be with us tomorrow, said, I wanted to take off tomorrow because I know I'm not going to be productive at all. I'm telling you, it's going to be tough, man, because it's the draft. And then at work, you're going to be sitting there, just what time is it? 3:30, 3:40. Okay, what time is it? 3:50.
Just looking up players all day.
It's gonna be so, man. I don't know. I might have to call off. I'll see what's up. Wallace Smith said, "What's going on, fellas?" Wallace Smith's in the building.
Rise up, Terrell.
Somebody's tagging me here. Terrell Johnson said, "Rise up, fellas." What's up, Deshaun? He said, "What's Jack and Chase?" Sheesh. No alcohol tonight. The alcohol's for tomorrow, man. I couldn't do it back to back, man. I ain't want to do it back to back. Carrie, oh wow, a raffle. That's amazing. We'll definitely have to enter if you do that another one in the future. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do another one this summer or probably close before the season starts. And I did the live raffle on the air with the spinning names and the in the little box, and everybody was like, "Hey, what's up, man? My number is such and such. My number is such and such." Chat was going crazy that day. I was like, hold on. Let me spin the wheel. And then the names will pop up of who won. So yeah, shout out to everybody. 5 winners.
Shout out Coy Bishop for the donation.
Coy Bishop too as well. Big time Atlanta Falcons fan. Mr. Make the Grill Jump. He also donated some tickets to a Falcons game. He sits right there, corner end zone, so he was able to donate some tickets, give away a signed jersey. Some merch, Falcons merch, and Falcon fans loved it. So shout out to the fans. We're definitely gonna do another one later on this year. The Falcon fans definitely enjoyed it. And then of course, for some fans, I definitely look out for y'all too as well. Because we fans. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like no celebrity type shit. We're fans. You know what I'm saying? So to the games. I look out for people sometimes. Y'all be seeing me down there on the field and shit. I be bringing people down to the field sometimes. You know what I'm saying? At the away games. You know what I'm saying? Chase, you saw we
yes, sir.
Pre-game, post-game, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? We're always out there rocking with the Falcons, man, because we're diehard Atlanta Falcons fans. But Wallace Smith is up in the chat. Said, now you know that Zach Wilson's not going to be the starter for the Jets this season. Yeah, it was tough, man. I was hoping, looking at the ticket prices for the game when the schedule drops, because I travel a lot with the Falcons, and I'm looking at them like, all right, just wait to see, just wait, because of course Zach Wilson's gonna be the quarterback when that schedule drops May 11th. Oh, them prices ugly up there in New York. But with Aaron Rodgers now, that shit's finna be through the roof. Like it's finna
be dumpster juice. Just straight dumpster juice.
Man, I'm gonna have to stay in another state now. They're gonna call New York Mr. Aaron Rodgers now, man. They're gonna change the whole city to damn Aaron Rodgers. Everything's gonna be Aaron Rodgers out there. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Especially out there in Jersey where they're at, they ain't got shit out there.
Yeah.
One time for the fan, man. Die hard fans. Justin Newman's in the chat. He said, "What's good, fellas?"
What's good, Justin? Rise up.
Wallace Smith got a chat in the question. He said, "If a quarterback is still their 8th pick, we had the team trade up for him. No quarterback in the draft tomorrow, Wallace. That's what I see."
See, that's the thing. That's why I brought up the CJ Stroud, because I've seen a lot of talk about if CJ was at 8, would the Falcons grab him? And with the way this draft goes, there could be a possibility that he is an 8. But I'm definitely no QB. I'm for Ritter. I want to see what Ritter's got. We've seen a little glimpse of Ritter this year, and just out of 4 games, the kid had an 83.6 passer rating. So with a whole season or a whole season under his belt, I'm ready to see what he's got.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Sterling Woods in the chat. Bubba Gump, Ritter season. Sterling Woods said, "Bro, it's time to get another quarterback." I mean, I think you're going to bring another quarterback and going through camp. I don't think when you go into the season, you're going to have 3 quarterbacks. And don't forget about Felipe Franks, too, as well. I'm sorry, I had to mention that.
I already know what Bodie would have said.
He's still in the building. LaMarcus Boyd, one time for the fan. I'd be surprised if you do draft a quarterback in tomorrow's draft, or this weekend.
That would be the shocker.
That's a shocker on my draft board.
Yeah,
you go your 5th round and go get the kid out of TCU or go get the kid from UCLA, and I'm like, you used the pick on this kid? Okay, so that'll be something interesting. You see how I kind of lit up when I'm saying it, because it's like, so now what do we have to talk about here on the podcast? Because our next show after tomorrow will be Monday, and we'll have Myles Garrett from Fox 5 Atlanta. A lot of people's been retweeting and talking with Myles on Twitter, and he's a great guy. So he's been with us about 3 or 4 times here on One Time for the Fan. I think he's going for the record of how many times he's been here as a guest.
I mean, with a title that Myles Garrett carries, why not?
Myles Garrett is super lit, man. He is the GOAT, man. So if you guys are watching right now, or listening right now, tag Myles Garrett on Twitter and just be like, "Yo, One Time for the Fan said you guys are like you are the GOAT." You know what I'm saying? Just put the GOAT emoji. He knows what it is. Just call him Myles the GOAT and just tag One Time for the Fan. You know what I'm saying? So he'll be with us Monday, talking Falcons football. We're going over the draft report, the full draft report of what the Falcons did over the weekend. Myles will be with us. We'll be asking them some questions. So Falcon fans, bring your questions to the chat. We got a lot to go over. We got a lot to go over starting from today, tomorrow, and Monday. It's going to be exciting. And really, after this weekend, and then May 11th, that schedule drops. Falcon fans, it's go time. There's no more chatter. It's go time. That schedule drops. We know what the dates are. We know who we're playing. We know the opponents. It's time to get the boys in the building and time to go bust some heads. So I know y'all ready, Falcon fans, because I'm ready, man. Jordan's in the chat. He said, "I'll be in the stadium."
You're going to be in the stadium, bro. You need to hit my line for real. It's a little bro.
Miss B is here. She said Heineke couldn't take a Washington team with a great defense to the playoffs. If y'all think he's good, I guess. For a backup quarterback that was available this year, looking at what was available, if Ritter was going to be your starter, he's
for
decent.
a backup. We're talking that sport
not an A grade, not an A grade, not better than Ritter in my opinion right now because I want to see the young kids shine. But nah, he's decent enough.
I want everybody in the chat to drop a grade on what they think Ritter's season will be this year. Just drop a grade, A through D.
Who's here supporting Desmond Ritter? Who's here with the Ritter season? What's your grade for Desmond Ritter this season? Do you guys want Ritter to shine? I mean, just drop a grade. I know this is, before the draft and this is before the season starts, but I'm just trying to see where everybody at in the chat. I think we got a lot of people in here. So give me a grade real quick about Desmond Ritter. Y'all riding with Ritter. You can drop the Ritter season hashtag if you want to. I'll take that as an A, but throw out your A, your B, whatever. But yeah, Miss B, Taylor is decent enough as a backup.
And Taylor's coming in with that mindset. He knows he's a backup. His first press conference, I wish Ritter the best. I hate to see Ritter go down. If that may be the case, I'll come in and I'll be the starter. But he knows what he's coming in here for. He knows what his role is. He knows he's a mentor. So as a backup, I'm cool with it. Here's
the cool thing, right, about Taylor's situation, right? Terry talked about it. He talked to other teams. Terry and Arthur laid out what the situation was going to be, and he decided Atlanta would be the best choice for him. So that's good to know that he was coming here to back up Ritter, and that was the plan. Yeah. And now you go over when they signed Taylor, and everybody was still talking about LJ and all that stuff. This is going on behind the scenes, getting to the mindset of the organization. They wanted him to be here as a quarterback who's played in the system as a backup, who then became a starter, who then became a backup, then became a starter, who then became a backup. He's done it before. I don't think he'd be a starter in this league right now with the quarterbacks.
No.
But if you are depending on a guy who's supposed to be your starter and he can't get it done, kind of like Mariota last year.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go back to the past. Every time I think about that
it's all right, dude. It's all right, bro.
Yeah, but he's decent enough to where if it's 3 games left in the year and it's the Texans, the Colts, and the Bears, and something happens with Ritter, I feel good to know that he's coming in. You want Taylor, or you want Mariota?
He's proved to win games. Yeah,
I think Taylor's better than Mariota. To tell you the honest truth,
no doubt. At least passer wise, Mariota. Passer, accuracy. Maybe not strength because Mariota had a fucking deep ball, but Taylor's got the accuracy and he's got the wills to already, know this playbook. Kind of ran the similar playbook in Washington, so yeah, I think it'd be good. I think it'd be a good backup.
Falcon fans, welcome to the chat. Falcon fans, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button.
We on the 75-inch.
Yeah, not the 75. I got the 75. I'm watching that Daniel Jeremiah on there right now, but guy, you watching us on the 75?
Shout out.
Where you at, Chase? You over here? You over here?
Up here.
Gosh, sheesh. Oh yeah, shout out to Tank too. We didn't mention that on the last podcast on Sunday, but Tank went in there Saturday night.
Yes, sir. Shout out Tank.
Bink. Put them binks, boy. But put them bink. Put them binks on them, boy. They just looking ugly. Don't want to have no rematch, Ryan Garcia. You don't want to do that.
Nah, you don't want to.
Bubba Gump. The way the roster is set up, Ritter doesn't have to go out and throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns to make the playoffs. That is true, which I hope Falcon fans have Ritter in the 22 to 3,200 yard range.
At least 3,000.
18 to maybe 30 touchdowns in between that range, maybe about 5 or 8 picks or so. Your running game is going to be crazy. Who knows what other players are going to be running, but the chains are going to be moving.
Yeah.
The chains are going to be moving. It's going to be a lot of – you saw what happened last year. He was putting up 20 points that first half of the season pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do that this year, putting up 20 points on a lot of teams, damn near if your defense can hold, which our defense was not nowhere near where it is now on paper with some of these names. If you put 20 points on a team and it's honestly going into the fourth quarter, it's 21-13, you honestly can win that game 21-13 or go bust their ass and go win 28-13 with the defense you have now. You shouldn't see
you can afford you could be able to afford field goals this year.
The defense you have now on paper before the draft would have stopped the New Orleans Saints week 1 in the Benz, second half,
Week
fourth
1
quarter on that
and the
last
last
drive.
game.
The defense you have now would
And
have
the last
stopped the
game would have been
Saints
sweet.
week 1. The defense you have now probably would have helped you out a little bit better in that Charger game too as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We was about to take that game.
And the Bengals game was tough because you were down 2 cornerbacks, but you made a run in the second quarter. It was 17-28. Don't forget when you came out in the second half, you stopped the Bengals on that 4th down. Bengals went for it on 4th. You stopped them. You got the ball back. You could have scored and made it a 4-point game. You threw a pick.
Hashtag Mariota.
So the game was right there again. You could have been in there. The defense you have now would have changed a lot of games last year.
Yep.
Looking at the schedule this year, looking at the teams we play this year, I think the team is set up to win in a major way. But yeah, Bubba Gump, you are right. He does not have to throw for 5,000 yards. And I hope fans are not expecting that. Like, oh, he has to be this Patrick Mahomes style quarterback. He has to be in the top 3 passing yardage to be going to the Super Bowl. No, he doesn't. No. The team has to be stat. The team has to be solid. I know Matt Ryan had that MVP performance.
That comment you just made. I actually read a statement that Ritter had said to a reporter. I took a screenshot of it. Let me see if I can find it. He was the question was, what would he take from his 4 games that he played this year to next season? What would he take from that? He said, I would just say settling down, just being comfortable with where you're at, not getting too antsy, just being able to go in and out and make plays and not have to make too many plays, by yourself. There's 10 other guys out there that are going to help. Just being able to go out there and just take what they're giving out there on the field. And I think once I settled down, I saw that it's kind of that's kind of what we progressed with. So the kid knows what his downfalls are. If you watch the Saints game, you can go back to the very last play of the game where it was our last chance. And instead of just throwing the deep ball, he tried to run for it. He's a rookie. The kid's advancing. He's learning what he does wrong. He's taking it one game at a time. And I think those 4 games really, opened his eyes, really welcomed him to the NFL. And I think he's hearing everything that these reporters say, everything that's on NFL Network. He sees it. So it's just feeding fuel to the fire.
Falcon fans, there's a lot going on tonight. There's a lot going on tomorrow. So please tune in tomorrow. We have a lot of Falcon fans joining us here on the podcast. And of course, don't forget on Monday, we have Myles Garrett from Fox 5 Atlanta joining us. You guys seen him on Twitter. You watch him on Fox 5. He's there with the Braves, with the Hawks, with everybody. He's the executive producer. But he's a good friend of ours too as well. And he's going to be here joining us on Monday, our 100th episode of One Time for the Fans. So thank you all for being a part of what we have going on. Keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that share button, keep hitting that subscribe button. It don't cost nothing. But we just trying to let y'all know that we are diehard Atlanta Falcons fans. Y'all are diehard Atlanta Falcons fans, and it's the off season, so we're just trying to keep y'all entertained, keep y'all going, just pretty much keep y'all ready until the season starts. Something big like the draft happening tomorrow. Most of y'all have been here talking with us over the past couple of weeks about what players the Falcons can select, who's on your big board, 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round. You guys seen the mocks that we've done too as well. D-Led put out something recently, right? He put out 5 players on the Falcons draft radar, right? And of course, I wanted to go ahead and talk about this because we're talking about the draft and anything that comes up draft related between now and tomorrow. I want to talk about. We'll be back tomorrow too as well at 8:00. Nolan Smith was one of the players.
Most definitely.
The picture that he put out. Bijan Robinson was another player. The picture that he put out. Christian Gonzalez was another player. Picture that he had out there. Tyree Wilson was the other player. Mm-hmm. That's 4. The last one was Lucas Van Ness. If that's the draft radar, go ahead, Chase.
I'm just saying, it just seems like the whole, just the whole all season, Lucas has still been in that talk, and we can't shy away from it. A guy like Myles Garrett brought it up on the show. This is a guy that a lot of reporters have talked about that the Falcons have been heavy on. So I think a lot of people need to do some tape on Lucas Van Ness.
I know the fans going to see
Lucas is a big, Lucas is a big trade back talk, and Terry said it. He's all about for trading up, trading back. And I think Terry's playing chess. Terry's going to do what's going to benefit this team, what's going to make this team better in the future, what we can potentially grab for future rounds. And it's just a name that we need to look forward to, and somebody that could be on the draft, that could be an Atlanta Falcon more.
The cool thing about what Terry talked about, and it does kind of relate to seeing some of these names on D-Led's little article here, but he said it in the interview. I mean, not interview, the press conference today. He's picked up the phone already.
Mm-hmm.
Teams are calling.
Yeah.
So calling to move up, calling to move back. I think that's something that Falcon fans want to hear, because you're hearing it days before. Then when the day comes, that phone could be ringing again. I'm not in the war room with the Falcons. I wish I was, but I'm sure when you hold the number 8 pick, a lot of people is going to be calling, especially when I can think of 2 or 3 teams right now outside of the number 8 pick that need a quarterback, and the top 4 is probably going in the top 12 picks.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow. Teams are trying to move up, move around, get around, which might drop some more guys back to you. Bodie bringing up Will Anderson recently about how Will Anderson might even slide back and be sitting there at 8, which we didn't spend too much time
Wilson on. At too.
There's so much going on, not even just with the mocks and everything, but it's just so heavy. But seeing Nolan Smith, Bijan Robinson, Christian Gonzalez, Tyree Wilson, Luke Van Ness, we talked about it here on the channel. It's all the players we had still on our big board. Nobody's new on the big board in the past 24, 48, 72 hours. Nobody's new in the past week, 2 weeks. Every player we talked about here on the channel, on the podcast, has been here on the big board for us the past 2 months. Nobody's new. Yeah. Lucas Van Ness probably is at the bottom of some of your big boards, but Christian Gonzalez and Nolan Smith and Bijan Robinson and Tyree Wilson is probably up there way ahead of him.
About the hype on Devin Witherspoon, he's trending, man.
Devin Witherspoon too, as well as a name you have to watch for too, as well. Michael Rothstein talked about down on ESPN2, I think it was last night. He mentioned Devin Witherspoon would be the Falcons' pick on his little mock that he did for them.
Mm-hmm. Very possible.
So, it's a name to look out for as well. Red Swarm is in the chat. Shout out to Red Swarm. The Lotus in the chat. He said, "What's popping?"
It's good, Davion.
Put your ones up for one time, y'all. Put your ones up. You got the emoji. Red Swarm put it out there the other day. You got the one emoji. Hashtag one timers. Hashtag the fan club. And then you can put your ones up in the chat, man. You can put your ones up if you represent with one time for the fan. Because I'm always representing y'all. I'm a fan. You're a fan. We're fans. Most of y'all that's here last year, we lost together. We won together. You know how it is, man.
Yep.
That same energy, that same vibe. Sterling Wood said, with Ritter being the QB, does the play calling change or will be focused on the run? So I think you're running similar to this. Go ahead, Bodie. Not Bodie, Chase.
I think it's according to what you do in the I think it's according to what you do in the draft. Dez brought it up really in the chat today. If I just feed off of what Dez brought to the conversation, we was talking about receivers, drafting a receiver at 8. And it's somebody that I've seen on the draft boards 1 through 10, and a lot of mocks, and that's Najibba from Ohio. So if the Falcons were to grab a receiver like that, you got 2 number 1 receivers and a number 1 tight end. That's potentially a number 1 receiver. So if you look at it like that, the playbook could be a lot different this year. You think about last year, we had a bridge quarterback. We had a Mariota, somebody that if the pass isn't there, take off. If you're uncomfortable, take off. So when you look at grabbing a potential, target like Quentin Johnson or Najibba or somebody like that, plus a Drake London, a healthy Kyle Pitts, you could see that, 35, 4,000 yard passing season. So we'll know a lot tomorrow. We'll learn a lot about our team tomorrow.
We definitely will. And of course, with the play calling, I think you're going to be running similar to what the style offense was last year. You still have a mobile quarterback with Desmond Ridder. He's still mobile. The thing about Desmond is he likes to pass. You've seen that through the progression of the last 4 games. The numbers, the dropbacks, what he was doing. Even in that Baltimore game, doing the best he can to trying to get us a win. Mm-hmm. He likes to pass. He wants to push the ball downfield. He likes big targets who knows how to catch the ball. And I think with Kyle Pitts, CP more in the receiving game this year, Drake London, Mac Hollins, wherever he can fit in. If Mac Hollins can give you Man, Matt Collins, if you can
If
give us
Matt Collins can give us 400 yards, 3 touchdowns,
man,
with
3 to
Drake
5
London and a
touchdowns, 400
Kyle
yards,
Pitts,
that's all you need, bro. If you can give us Drake London stats next year, let Drake London double his stats this year, Matt Collins, that's all we need, bro. That's straight up all we need. Scotty Miller, bro.
And a healthy Pitts all year.
Scotty Miller can get 4 touchdowns this year, bro, because CP going to eat, Tyler going to eat. Don't let us draft Bijan because he's going to eat too as well. Jonnu Smith is going to eat too as well. Let's not forget about Jonnu.
Yeah.
Jonnu's going to eat.
He's going to pull – not only with Jonnu, man. Jonnu's going to pull a lot of – if you do 2 packages with 2 tight ends with Jonnu and Kyle Pitts, you know how much coverage that's going to take up? They're not going to be able to double team Pitts because you got another 6'6", 6'6", 6'7" tight end on the right side of the ball. So this is somebody that's pulling coverage, play designs, man. Something that Arthur Smith's really, talented with the way he gets his receivers open. So I'm ready to see it. We're going to have a fast scoring offense and a dynamic defense, man. Something that we needed in the A for a while.
Falcon fans, Travis Preston's in the chat. Shout out to Travis. He got a comment here for the die-hard Desmond Ritter fans. He said, if CJ drops to number 8, I'm sorry, Desmond, we should take him unless someone offers a major haul. After listening to what Terry said on the – shout out to your comment too as well, Travis.
Yeah.
After listening to what Terry said in that interview the other day, talking with the media, we've made the announcement that it's Desmond Ritter. Mm-hmm. And I think they sticking with that BPA. There's a lot of positions, a lot of players that can fill every position that fits your BPA. The best defensive lineman will probably still be on the board at 8.
Right.
The best running back will be probably still on the board at 8. The best cornerback or the number 2 cornerback will probably still be on the board at 8. The best offensive lineman would be on the board at 8. The best wide receiver in the draft will be on the board.
I'm hearing
a lot of BPAs
the best player in the draft
that Terry can look at right now. A lot of BPAs. And I think when he was talking about not reaching down low for a position when you're looking at your draft board, not reaching to like you want to get what you need right now and what's good for the future too as well. And they're talking about looking at players where I like how Terry said this. A guy that you couldn't draft this year, you might end up getting 3, 4, 5 years down the line.
Due diligence.
That sounds like some Jeff Okudah type shit.
Yeah.
That sounds like the Jesse Bates type shit. Mm-hmm. You couldn't grab these guys when they was available back then, but they have that potential now where it's like, yo, we needed these guys in the building. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have some winning seasons here in Atlanta. Terry will still be around. I mean, he's going to be a hot take to go be somewhere else, but I hope not. But you want to keep them here in Atlanta. But to hear Terry say that there's some players here too as well, you got to look at for the future on other teams that might become available free agents in the future. Oh, that's pretty big. Let's just say you do miss on a Peter Skronsky now, and he doesn't work out. And 5 years from now, he had a good season, but he pulls like the Caleb McGarry move. And he's going to hit the market, and you got the money. I think the way Terry's running this team, you're going to have the money for the next couple of years to do anything you damn near want to. There's no more negative with this team right now when it comes to the cap. They ain't paying no $500 million for no 2 players. Shit ain't happening no more. It's not happening.
No, you can see it the past 2 years. Even with this year, with all the cash we had, all the players they brought in on that 1-year deal, prove it deals. So just like he did with, you can look at, let's see, think of a player here, Lorenzo Carter. Brought in on a 1-year deal. Terry brings him back after that 1-year deal. Terry's not giving out free passes anymore. It's not going to be what that name carries. It's going to be what you put on that field, how you produce.
That is true. And shout out to Travis for that comment too as well, because a lot of people would say, my friend Eric Parker, he mentioned it earlier on. You got to get Stroud. Stroud is the guy. It's the Stroud. This is going on during the whole LJ talk. You got to get Stroud.
Just watching CJ Stroud at the Georgia game. Stroud's legit. I wouldn't knock Stroud a bit. Stroud is a talented accuracy pinpoint. If it wasn't for their receiver that got knocked out, that's going to be a top draft pick next season. They would have made Georgia run for their money. CJ Stroud, he dropped some nice passes. Then you got to heart my boy Stetson Bennett that dropped the same stats that he dropped, but that's a whole nother story. But
Stetson.
But yeah, man, CJ's definitely talented, and if he's at 8, I think it's something that Terry and and Smith may speak about, but I think what like Jack was saying with what the Falcons have announced, last season they were so big, or the season they got rid of Ryan, they were so big on not committing on a quarterback. The media came out and said Matt Ryan's the quarterback for next year, and Smith was quick to deny it because they didn't know. They kind of already knew Matt wasn't the guy. They come out before we even see Ridder in training camp. Ridder's the guy. Ridder's the starter. So I think that speaks volume. And Ridder, these reporters have talked to Ridder, and Ridder's got the mindset of a QB1. So I'm ready to see what Ridder's got. He was most winning quarterback in college at home. He hasn't lost a game at home in the NFL. I know it's only 2, but he's doing his thing.
Falcon fans should be excited to see Desmond Ridder out there. I'm a diehard fan. I'm excited for the team. Look at the team right now. Mm-hmm. On paper, every Falcon fan, I posted to as well. Pull out them jerseys tomorrow. Put them car flags up. It's time to start pissing off some fans. It's time to start pissing off some fans. And I'm talking about riding around. There's some fans here from other teams in our city that we played this season. And they ain't going to have a good – there's some Houston Texans fans in our city this year. They riding around going to work. Their team is not looking too – I don't care who they get tomorrow. Their team ain't going to be looking too well this season. Arizona Cardinal fans too as well. Jets fans, Titans fans, Bears fans. Teams that we can go ahead and smack up on with our team this year. Piss them off at the light. When you look over and you see, oh, look. Tennessee Titan fan. Look, they just lost Derrick Henry. Hey, what's up with Derrick Henry, cuz? Piss them off at the light. You finna go smack. When they look over at you, they're going to be mad as shit. Damn, the Falcons got probably one of the best teams in the NFC South right now on paper. Piss them off. Shout out to Uncle Steve's Lounge, another content creator, diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. We got to get Uncle Steve on really, really soon, probably after the draft, before the season starts. But I know Uncle Steve's probably got a lot going on tomorrow too as well on his channel. So shout out to Uncle Steve for checking in with us on his grade for Desmond Ridder. A lot of C's when you ask that question. A lot of C's here for Desmond Ridder. A couple A's. But for most people who's a diehard fan, you're looking at Desmond Ridder, 4 games last year, you're going to give him that type of grade. Yeah. There's some diehards that's going to look past that and going to give him the overall perfect grade of an A. But there's some fans who are going to look and say, no, until I see week 1 through 8, this boy's got a C. And, of course, we're going to ask that question somewhere along the bye this year, like, what's Desmond Ridder's grade now? Yeah. So be prepared for it. Ice Cold Wolf, who's been here since day 1, he was also in the chat for our draft last year. And here he is right now again. He said, I told you about Marcus Mariota.
Shout out, Wolf. Wolf's like a whole other NFL fan, correct?
He's a Broncos fan.
That's right. Shout out, Wolf.
He's a Broncos fan, but he has respect for the channel. He has respect for the chat. He's a gamer too as well. And he's just cool as hell, man. So Ice Cold Wolf's just been rocking with us, talking Falcons football too as well. Sometimes, he calls it out. Falcons had a good game. He's in here saying, "Okay, cool." Mm-hmm. He's a Bronco. Can't talk shit. You're a Broncos fan. You're over there. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise than that, you rock with, what we got going on. He's a cool, he's a cool individual.
Been here, steady in here.
Yeah, shout out to Ice Cold Wolf. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. We got a lot to go over. We're going to get to our next segment shortly. We love getting to the chat. Tomorrow, the chat's going to be crazy, so we're going to try to do our best to get to everybody with all the comments and everybody, all the special guests joining us and so forth. So just bear with us tomorrow. Bubba Gum said, give Ridder a chance with the starters when everyone is healthy. That is true. We haven't seen Ridder with Pitts.
Very true.
I want to see 100% beginning of the season CP with Desmond Ridder, because there's going to be some games, I think, some situations last year, Mariota, whatever his name is. He looked decent, but then there was some throws I was like, bruh.
Like the Jalen Ramsey pick.
The Jalen Ramsey pick?
At the Rams.
Oh, the Rams. So, yeah, that was another one. So, the end zone play on that 4th down, because we came back from 25 points. Man. And then you get down to the 4th and 3 or 4th and goal, whatever it was. Then the 2 fumbles. Don't even mention the 2 fumbles too as well. Oh my God, this kid, bro. Let's not go back to the past, bro. We're gonna piss off some fans and they're gonna be like, I do not want to hear this shit. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna go back to the past on Mariota. But yeah, man, it's tough just seeing that situation with what happened with him. But I'm ready to see Ridder. I want to see 100% CP at the beginning of the season. Tyler Algier with Ridder. They've been working together. I know you guys saw the picture with Scotty Miller and Drake London and Matt Collins. They're out there working, y'all. Yeah. They're working. So let's hope that they're cooking up something special for us this season, because I know you can't see the whole defense and everything, but when you're running your routes, sometimes it's that mental game too. You got to get into the heads of some of these players.
Not only that, you're learning your receivers. You know, you're learning what your receiver does. When your receiver breaks on a slant, when they break on a go, you know, it's just something that, you know, chemistry together. So everything they're doing is going to work out for the team. And most def, man, I'm ready to see Ritter with a healthy team, 100%.
Dave Farrell's in the chat. Shout out to Dave, diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, diehard everything when it comes to Atlanta sports. He said, Jack, who do you think we will pick with our first pick? I'm looking at the team right now, and it's a BPA for me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with Terry. But any player you pick is gonna fit what you need.
That's what I'm saying. You could go with 3 guys right now at 8. I mean, more than 3. I mean, there's so many players in this draft. This is a very talented draft.
Jalen Carter fits.
Yeah, Jalen Carter's that guy. If Jalen Carter's at 8, that's your pick.
Bijan Robinson.
I don't think you pass Jalen Carter at 8. If Jalen Carter's gone, I think Bijan Robinson is the next choice. If
Tyree Wilson fits.
Christian Gonzalez
fits. Devin Witherspoon fits.
There's so many, man.
Peter Skronsky fits.
Yeah.
Every player fits. But who do I think the Falcons will select tomorrow?
Who you got?
Anybody on my big board, perfectly fine. If you throw any name outside of my top 10, I'm gonna be pissed, boy. I'll be like, look, I done did some research in this joker, dog. Don't come in here and pick somebody that wasn't on my big board when everybody's.
What do you do if Brian Branch goes at 8?
So if it's Brian Branch, if it's the safety from Bama, I'm just gonna stand up and say, well,
Dan caught it.
Shout out Lieutenant Dan. I'm gonna get Lieutenant Dan back on the broadcast. But anybody whose name that gets called, who probably wasn't high for us, we've had them as a guest on our show. So any name that's outside that, you know, Paris Johnson, I think somebody called Paris Johnson.
We've talked about Paris Johnson.
We've talked about, I think Scott Karisic mentioned a Paris Johnson too as well. So it's something to look at here, where there's some players that I want to see in Atlanta. But then again, you know, I'm not the organization. I would go tomorrow if Jalen Carter is sitting at 8.
It's got to be the pick.
You go and you select Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
At 8, right?
Yeah.
Ryan Nielsen gets up. He smiles. Terry smiles. Arthur Blank smiles. It's gonna be a beautiful day.
Man.
If what's his name? Carter is off the board.
Yeah.
Go and get Christian Gonzalez.
If Tyree's still there?
I have Christian Gonzalez over Tyree. If you guys don't want the Christian Gonzalez, no, Jack, don't do cornerback if Carter's gone. Go and get. I didn't want to do this last month, but I got to do it today. Go get Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, I'm with Bijan Robinson too. Christian Gonzalez, man, that name there. Christian Gonzalez ran a freaking 4.38, I believe, in the 40. One of the fastest quarterbacks coming out into the draft this year. So, man's quick, and what's something receivers can't beat? Speed. If your cornerback's faster than your receiver, you ain't getting beat. So, something to look
Nolan
at.
Smith is on my list. Peter Skronsky is on my list. Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon, Lucas Van Ness, Bijan Rob. They're on my list. I think if it's number 8, if Jalen Carter's sitting there, you get Carter. If it's not Carter, you go Christian Gonzalez. If it's not Gonzalez, you go Bijan Robinson. If it's not Robinson, you go Skronsky. It's tough. Last year, I had a name. It was Kayvon Thibodeau. It was Thibodeau.
Same.
That was the name I had. You would have asked me last year, I would have said Kayvon Thibodeau. When he was selected before us by the Giants, I was pissed. I was pissed.
Same.
But
then they had that young kid announce his name on stage. That was supposed to be our pick.
It is what it is. But we have a lot going on here, Falcon fans. Shout out to everybody who's there in the chat. Got a couple more minutes here. We're going to talk about Falcons fans because tomorrow we're going to be lit. Please come on back. We're going to be live in most of the Falcons groups, live on YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to One Time for the Fan, wherever you watch One Time for the Fan, on your 75-inch, on your 200-inch, whatever you. I don't give a damn if you're watching on the damn Halo board at the stadium. Shout out to everybody who's representing, rocking out with one time for the fan. Drake Shoe statements up in here. Chase is up in here. He said, I see Ritter with a full season, 3,500 yards, 27 TDs, 11 interceptions. I said, remember, somewhere between 2,200 yards or so, 3,600 yards, somewhere between that, 18 touchdown to 30 touchdown range, somewhere between maybe 6 to 12 interceptions, but he's going to get the job done. That right there shows me there's no quarterback you're drafting next year in the draft.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Ritter's going to get the bag. You're going to see Ritter here in Atlanta for a long time.
Yeah.
That's the guy. So I'm rocking with it. Am I heavy on the Stroud move or a Bryce Young move or a Will Levis or Anthony Richardson move tomorrow night? No. The two positions I'm not heavy on at 8 is quarterback and tight end. I think anything else you need to watch for. After quarterback and tight end, safety. Those are my 3 positions I'm not attacking at 8. Quarterback, tight end, and safety. Right? You need to watch the secondary when it comes to those DB rooms. You can go get a cornerback at 8. It's possible. You trade back Devin Witherspoon, or if it's Christian Gonzalez, cornerback is a situation to look at. Linebacker, if you can get Tyree Wilson or Nolan Smith, it's a first round move to look at. Defensive line, you can get Carter, or however you line up Tyree Wilson.
How do Falcon fans react to a receiver at 8? That's my comment.
Receivers another thing too as well. Dez who will be here tomorrow night with us. He called it out in the chat this morning. You need to strengthen your wide receiver room. He said it in our chat one time for the fan group chat.
Yeah, we've talked about it a couple times. A lot this offseason we've talked about it, and I've even brought up Quentin Johnson. That's another guy to look at. That could be a top 15 pick. But at 8. If you're talking at 8, Nick Jigba's probably the guy from Ohio State.
I'm looking at something right now, Falcons fans, that you guys need to be looking at. If a wide receiver is selected tomorrow in the draft, if you trade back and it's Jackson Smith, I'm going to tell you right now, you're trying to strengthen and build your wide receiver room. It's only Drake London, Mac Hollins, and Scotty Miller.
Yeah.
I think you're going to draft a wide receiver tomorrow. And I think you're going to let the 5th or 6th spot, however you run it, fight between Josh Ali and Jared Bernhardt, Frank Darby, some of the undrafted free agents, whoever can walk on, whatever. But it's looking like Des mentioned today, is Mac Hollins your 2? Is he your solidified number 2 right now? Do we know that? We don't know that. Let's just say they go draft Jackson Smith tomorrow. Trade back and get him at 14 or 15. That's your number 2 right there. So where does Mac Hollins going to fit in here now? Where does Scotty Miller fit in? It's going to be some big-ass receivers out there. Some Arthur Smith-style offense. But also, Des mentioned, you loaded up on defense like hell in the offseason. And you're probably going to do that as well, too, tomorrow in the draft, this weekend. So why not go get a wide receiver early in the first round?
Then you got some really nice ones falling into the second as well. Some really nice receivers.
There's some Falcon fans out there that said, look, Des just sent, what is that? Des just sent us something else, didn't
he? Yeah.
What did you say? There's no, you said scroll down in the chat. You said Chase, it's about to rain. You said something about his gutters.
But clown.
Falcon fans, y'all lit, man. Don't forget tomorrow night we are back live podcast. We're gonna wrap up here with a couple more segments, and then we're gonna get to our shout outs, and then we up out of here. You good? Good? All right, we're good. One time for the fan. Dave Ferry said, happy draft eve. Yeah, it is draft eve, man. It's a holiday tomorrow for some. We got some people here in the chat that's taking off from work tomorrow. Dre, I seen that comment earlier.
Good, Raymond.
Ain't gonna let your boss know. But it is what it is. I saw that TikTok the other day too. The dude said when you call out sick from work and your manager catch you at the liquor store. Saw that one? And they had a guy in there. He's like, "What you doing? What are you doing?" He's like, "I ain't doing nothing." What do you mean?
Just chill.
What are you talking about? Like, what you doing? What you doing? Raymond Collins said, "What's happening, guys? Just about that time. It is almost just about that time. Make sure you guys have your Falcon hats on.
Man, y'all tune in tomorrow for really
Falcons apparel. If you're watching, listening, draft party, wherever you're at,
bring the draft lids. Bring it all.
Falcons car flags on the car. Go ahead and Go into the garage or that storage cabinet and grab all the plastic container that says Falcon stuff. Go ahead and pull it back out. Or whatever you had on the man cave wall, go ahead and drop it back down. Go ahead and get it back out. Get the cars ready, the car flags, the magnets on the car, the bumper plates, whatever it is, the plates over the license plate, whatever that thing. I don't know what it is. Shit. Whatever. I don't care what it is. The Falcons headrest. Whatever it is. Your jersey, your gloves, your socks, your hats, man, your scarves. It's supposed to be raining tomorrow too as well. So look out for that. Shout out to them Hawks too as well. Yeah. Shout out to them Hawks.
That boy Trae Young cooking, son. From deep. Man, that was if you ain't seen the highlights on the game the other night, you gotta watch the last shot, man. The way Trae closed that thing out. Nasty. Trae playoffs is something different.
Falcon fans, we are lit. We are ready. Justin Newman in the chat. We got a lot of Falcon fans in the chat. He said, I see Ritter having 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns. He knows what he has to do and fix, but damn good rookie who progressed every game. That is true. He definitely stepped up in a major way, especially when he came back home to Atlanta. The Cardinals game and the Bucs game was just, man, Chase, he was there. I mean, the crowd, the stadium, everything was just playing in Desmond Ritter's favor, even though he was eliminated from the playoffs. To have those 2 home wins, to have fans just have some type of belief, felt a little bit better, man. You know what I'm saying? Right into the next year. And then when the Falcons made the announcement that he's the starter, a lot of Falcon fans started ordering them jerseys. I'm sure you're going to see that Ritter jersey hanging up in Falcons team store a lot more this year. Probably front right there in the front as soon as you walk in. Got somebody else up in here. He's like Jamal up in here. What's that? YMOF Jamal 05 is up in here. He said, I believe Ritter will have a B+ season.
Solid grade, man. I can't go wrong with a B+, you know. Expect that out of Ritter, you know, with the most winnings, you know, quarterback in college. The stats prove it. You know, his passer rate improves it just the past 3 games or the 4 games that he played. He improved every game, just like Justin Newman said in the comments, you know. 3,500 yards should be the target for this year.
Raymond Collins said, I believe this is going to be a unpredictable draft. Terry has not finished cooking yet. Just, man, I'm talking about Terry has been having a terrific offseason. Falcon fans, you guys should feel good about what is happening here in Atlanta with your team. And I'm going to say this, and here goes Dre. He said, we get Witherspoon, I will be a very happy fan. Any one of those picks tomorrow is going to be selected by the Atlanta Falcon. I'm going to be very happy.
Anybody on the board.
You have done what you need to do in the offseason to make the fans excited, to get everybody lit and ready for the season. And then here comes the draft behind it. If you would have had a bad offseason, you didn't bring in the players fans were expecting, and these players ain't no high caliber guys to come in here and change the dynamic of this team, that's a different story. But every single player that was brought in the building in the offseason is a difference maker. And I got a couple of Jets fans. Oh, you got the guy that's a third-year guy, or he's a third stringer. They're talking about Bud Dupree. You got the third stringer from Tennessee, or you got the guy who's almost 40. Like, dude, do you guys not see how much like Bud Dupree was cooking since he's been with Pittsburgh and Tennessee? How much Calais Campbell in the past 2 seasons was cooking, even at 37 and 36. Man, are y'all crazy?
It's all about building for the future, man. It's all about building for the future. You know, Terry didn't come in and hire those guys to think that they would be here long term. Terry wants a ring now. Terry's competing for that ring now. And that's just the type of GM Terry is. Terry's going to build for what he thinks is going to compete. And if that's changing the whole roster up next year, then that's what we'll do. But Terry's for competing, man. Terry ain't with the let's hang in with the 500 club. Let's get into the playoffs, man.
The team is on a situation now. I think if you look at the past 2 years with the Matt Ryan move and the Julio move and all this and the cap space and 1-year deals and guys who they knew was going to try to fight for the bag eventually because they knew the cap space was going to turn around. Now you're at a point of you're sitting in the war room. I'm looking at probably what Terry's looking at right now. You're probably talking to Arthur Blank and everybody. You're like, we're getting ready to go win, guys.
No doubt.
Why do you think we're getting ready to win from week
Calais Campbell didn't come to Atlanta to be done after the regular season? Calais Campbell came to Atlanta to chase that ring. And that's what all veterans do. Any veteran with any morale for the game, that's what they do. I mean, if you look at Julio Jones, I know Julio Jones left Atlanta. And I know it was a shitty way that he left Atlanta, but he was chasing a ring. The man was chasing a ring, just like any veteran that does. That's got love for the game. That's what I honestly believe Calais Campbell came to Atlanta for, is to get that ring. It wasn't because of the mentorship. It wasn't because of any of it. I think it's to get that jewelry. And let's get it. I mean, let's get it. I'm ready.
Falcon fans, we super lit tonight. Draft is tomorrow. We're gonna be back at 8:00. We got a lot more to talk about here, so we got a couple more minutes. Shout out to Brad Spielberger from PFF. He posted an article. He posted non-playoff teams who can make it next season with the good draft, and the 3 teams they put on there was the Lions, the Steelers, and the Falcons. And this is good because as you're scrolling Twitter and looking for stuff like this to be talked about by Brad Spielberger, shout out to Brad, to put us in the mention,
to even be talked about.
To even be talked about that we could make the playoffs again. I mean, man, Falcon fans, that's been a word that we haven't heard about in years.
Surprising.
And you're looking at what Brad is talking about, like with a good draft. Man, our off season's already lit. You talking about the draft? The draft is just the icing on the cake.
Just look at you talk about draft. Just look at the players last year that they went and picked up. Every player that we picked up hit the field, but John Fitzpatrick and Justin Schaefer. I mean, every pick played a snap in the regular season. Every pick had an impact on the team. And Justin Shepard's a player that you could talk about that gets a potential battle in training camp for that guard. So they definitely hit on last year's draft, and I believe they hit on this year's draft. This is definitely a team that's bound for the playoffs. I think without a doubt we take the NFC South.
I definitely believe we're going to take the NFC South. Shout out to Dan Burst, who will be with us tomorrow night too as well. One of our special guests. He said a big reason why people are so big on Ritter is because he has shown so much that people are not paying attention to, but the same people that are calling the man trash. That is tough. That there's a lot of people out here that's not paying attention to Desmond Ritter.
I think a lot of people were legitimately expecting Ritter to come in here and go 4-0 and make that playoff push. Atlanta Falcons fans need that playoff so desperately. They look for something to lean to blame. I mean, and I understand as a fan, I want it bad. Ever since the Super Bowl flunk, I wanted it terribly. But Big Low with the B+, that's a man that knows his stuff. So, but yeah, as a fan, man, I want the ring too. And we just, I feel like as a fan base as a whole, we got to be better at supporting our quarterback. This man is your captain. This is the guy that's leading your team. This is the one over everybody. So I feel like as a fan base, we got to get behind our QB1. I know some people disagree, but that's QB, man. That's the captain.
Going over even with that Desmond Ritter slander too as well. CBS Sports, Cody Benjamin. We've mentioned Cody's name here, slandering the Falcons more than once here on this podcast. I can't remember what it was, but we threw that name in here a couple times last year on this podcast. He came up with a CBS Sports report. He said ranking every QB1 by conference has Desmond Ritter ranked 16th in the NFC. And of course, Myles Garrett, the GOAT. Shout out to Myles. Tag Myles. Tell him one time for the fans sent you. They have the quarterbacks that's ranked for this year going forward. Myles Garrett retweeted and said, Jordan Love has started 1 game in 2 years. Trey Lance has started 4 games in 2 years. Sam Howell has started 1 game in 1 year. Baker Mayfield is on his 4th team in 3 years. Andy Dalton is no longer a starter, but though you rank Desmond Ritter 16th.
Crazy. The disrespect's real.
It's so crazy right now that you'll see people, media, ripping the Falcons, ripping the Ritter move because don't forget, they wanted one guy here in Atlanta. Remember that. There's going to be a lot of sports journalists that's waiting for us to fail so they can go and say, oh, if you would have done this in the offseason, you'd be in a much better position. And that's where a lot of fans look at that hate chase and say, oh, shit, I can hate on Ritter too. NFL's going to do it anyway. And they try to feed off that. For
Ritter
me, it's a different story.
Ritter hears it all, man. Ritter hears it all.
He has a TV. Hopefully he has. I'm sure he has a phone too. And he's watching too as well. Shout out Desmond Ritter. So for us here at One Time for the Fan, we're going to rock with the 53. Whoever's in that building. I've told you guys this before. I'm going to say it again. This is the night before the draft. I still haven't got a phone call yet, but I can get called tomorrow, and I could be the number 8 pick. And I'm telling you right now, me at running back or me at quarterback is something you won't. I'm just letting you know right now. You talking about Bijan, boy? What? Bijan? What? Don't let me get first safety drafted at it. Don't let me get back there and play safety, man. Hold on, let me find this tape. I'm gonna find this tape too. I'm gonna try to get this tape to y'all before next year's draft. But we go on to the next segment. One time for the fan. DJ Towns, who'll be with us tomorrow. I guess we can consider him a special guest because he has
special guest DJ.
Had too many appearances here on One Time for the Fan. He's in the chat though. He said, "Man, I've been looking for Chase. Why are my gutters still full?" God, you can hear DJ Towns is somewhat similar.
I seen him out last week, bro. Been getting complaints about him all month. He's about to get laid off.
DJ Towns with the jokes again. He said, "Dan, why are you in here? You need to be at the alley working on that form." For those that do not know, there's some bowlers here in here too as well. So if y'all be bowling, we got some 200 club members up here who be going slap on the lanes now. They be going slap. Dan Burst replies with the One Time for the Fan. Sheesh. DJ Towns, last comment for the night before you jump up in here. You said, Njigba Smith at 8. Wheezy out of here. Not at 8, bro. Not at 8. Raymond Collins with the thumbs up to Bijan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Like I said, Bijan's probably the best player in the whole, the whole draft.
Don't be surprised if. Go ahead, Chase.
No, you go ahead. We was talking about Keon last week. Go ahead.
You was right about this too. Now, another comment comes in about Keon. But I'm listening to Terry's interview and I'm reading the comment. I'm like, remember he mentioned this in the interview, but not go down here. I think Keon is in that like here range.
Yeah.
So you're going to have your players that's right here that you need that can fit right now. And then if you jump out of that board and go into the next pool, then comes your Keon Whites. Then comes your Miles Murphy. Then comes your Quentin Johnson. And so if Jahmyr Gibbs does track into the first round, you want to trade back up for a running back, you don't get one in the in the top 10. That is something also to look at too as well. Chat's going crazy. He said, watching the draft at your whole house, Jack. Gosh, that boy came out here with the jokes. If y'all don't know, man, the chat is savage. Chase can tell you the chat is pretty savage. 8 o'clock in the morning. You never know where the roast might, start. But once one person gets tagged, you might wake up. Like, don't wake up too late. You be 2 hours in the chat and then get about 30 messages because people just roasting your ass. Chase roasting you, Bodie roasting you, Boo Man roasting you, Dez roasting you. Something like, because I didn't eat breakfast yet. Y'all boys
Who I even go at first? Who I even go back to first?
God. Well, it says Scotty's the new OZ. Is he the upgraded OZ?
I think so, man. Speed-wise, Scotty's got him beat. Scotty's a quick,
OZ ran 4.49. Scotty ran 4.3.
Mm-hmm. He's very shifty. Somebody that can get beat a cornerback on a go route easily. Speed. That's what I was bringing up.
Well, hold on. Let me call AT&T. Yeah, he's on the bill. Oh, there you go.
Damn.
Yeah, you see? I got AT&T on speed dial, Chase. Don't worry. We got you good.
Give me a second.
We're trying to get – you still don't have AT&T fiber, right? That's the dial-up one, right? Sheesh. One time for the fan. DJ Towns in the chat. He said, but nah, for real, CB or wide receiver at 8. Don't at me when y'all see it.
Yeah, cornerback could happen. Receiver could happen for sure.
But Chase, before you got cut off, what you had to go? What you saying, brother?
Man, I don't even remember. I got cut off my mic.
We'll just go straight to the next. I know that shit probably blew you. Like, bro, come on. It's all right. Jabri Harper, who'll be with us tomorrow night too as well. He said, "Rise Up is going down in a majorly way tomorrow night. Majorly way tomorrow night." Shout out to Archangel in the chat. Super Celebrities here in the chat. Lyrics Mom is here. She said, "I appreciate this positive podcast. No bashing of the brand new quarterback. Kid getting hate for no reason. Y'all are awesome." I thank you, Kira. Just throw your draws at the camera for us.
Hey, man. Tell Bodie if he can be in the comments, all video, all live, he can be on the stream.
Well, that's what you didn't know. Bodie's the second half of the show. He comes in for the night shift. So Bodie will come in here and break down how he folds those boxes at work. And he'll tell you how much tape he needs. So one time for the fan, we are lit. Tomorrow night is going down. Grabbing me in a Kudu jersey. We had the same birthday, February 2nd.
Shout out.
Falcon fans, y'all are lit. Tomorrow night is going down. Bring your last comments or questions to the chat before we go ahead and get up out of here. I'm going to be much more hype and ecstatic if we pull Jalen Carter if he slides to us. It was says slides to us. That is tough because I'm going to tell you what I've seen. I haven't seen too much Carter going to the Texans. I haven't seen too much Carter going to the Colts or anything. But 5 and 6 is where you worry for the Carter fans. Seattle and Detroit is where you worry. If Seattle takes Tyree Wilson and Detroit goes and gets Christian Gonzalez, and you see a quarterback goes to Raider, I'm not big on the Raiders selecting Jalen. Though it'd be surprising, Raiders go and get a quarterback, probably one of the last 4. So, however, if there's no trade ups, Raiders get the last quarterback. Carter's sitting there at 8, and then you pick up the red phone. That was a green one. But you pick up the phone, and you make the call, and you say, "Are you ready to be a Falcon?" And the first person he's going to call is probably going to be Ryan Nielsen, Arthur Blank. Tomorrow morning, Friday morning, he'll wake up, hit up Grady Garrett. Hit the rest of the crew. Like, dog, it's time to work. That's my pull for Jalen Carter. Or it can be Christian Gonzalez. But any pick that you make this weekend is ready to come into the building and work because you can see any one of these rookies hitting the building, they know the team that's getting ready to be around them. When Carter gets in there, he's like, shit, I got David Amiata, I got Eddie Goldman, I got Grady Garrett, I got Calais Campbell, I got Jesus Christ.
Weapons on weapons.
Lord. Christian Gonzalez walking in the room. He's like, damn, I got Jeff Okuda. I got Jesse Bates behind me over there. I got Richie Grant over here with me. I got my boy AJ Terrell. Oh, my God. Bijan coming there. You're like, man, I got CP here. Tyler just got 1,000 last year, 5th round. Look at your Peter Skronsky. He comes in there. Got the legend Jake Matthews over there.
Man.
Chris Lindstrom, best guard in the damn league. Kelly McGarry, who was damn near top 10 right tackle last year. Everything fits. Everything fits. What doesn't fit? Wide receiver room. Jackson Smith comes in there with a wide receiver core that needs some rebuilding. Drake London over there, rookie wide receiver. Saw what he did when London came in. Plus, he's gonna be hanging with Pitts. Probably top 5 tight end in the league right there.
Most dev top 5.
Come on, every pick fits. Every pick fits. Some of y'all gonna question why Jack Spade's gonna get drafted tomorrow. Don't worry about it. I can throw Eddie on the run. JJ Ayers is in the chat. He said TF had to prove to those guys that he was swinging for the fences this season. That is true.
Yeah.
Grady's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Had to prove to Grady that you can get it done this year. They said, look, we finna go ahead and stack up this offseason. Every player saw that money and was like, after the Super Bowl, let me tell you something. Every fan after the Super Bowl was like, we about to spend. Mm-hmm. Spend wisely, too. And then some of these deals that Terry made, too, as well. Finessing. But Terry's smart, man. It's a smart man. It's a good team you got right here. Ritter did some things for Cincinnati. Let's give him a chance for the ATL. That's right. Yep. I was not there in the Bengals game. I was there. Bengals fans turned around, kept telling me, when y'all going to put that Ritter guy in? Holy shit, that guy is great. Because they're Bearcat fans. Yep. You guys are going to love him. Remember Jeff Howell? PTP podcast, Cincinnati's Bearcat podcast. They came on and talked to us about the Desmond Ritter rookie report last year. Ritter. They were heavy on Ritter. Heavy. Mm-hmm. And they're so true to the game. They respect Ritter and they're Bengals fans.
Yeah.
There's no hate. They want to see the kids shine. Why? Because he turned Cincinnati Bearcat football around.
Yep.
So they appreciate that. And any team they go to, I'm about to get the copyright strike. YouTube been sending me them damn copyright strikes because of the damn Fox Sports shits. But any team Desmond Ritter would have went to, they would have supported that. Because they have that fan base that's just like super diehard. They're rocking with the player. Kind of like me with, the Bulldogs too as well, and Bodie and you. Fans were like, go draft Stetson Bennett. I'm like, nah, we don't want to do that because we want to see Ritter shine. But then again, Bennett's my boy.
Yeah.
As a fan, he won me 2 national championships back to back. That's my boy.
Only caused QB to come into the draft with that. So it's just crazy to see him so low on draft boards.
Falcon fans, we got a lot going on. Go ahead and wrap up these comments and then get up out of here tomorrow night. We are super lit, starting at 8 o'clock. From the moment we get in here, we got a special guest, followed by another guest, Lyrics Mom's up in here. Crazy how folks say Ritter has to earn the respect, but the ones that placed above him hasn't done anything.
Very true. Look at Jordan Love. I mean,
Myles Garrett said, they put Sam Howell above him. Like,
who?
And then Andy Dalton. I know they're going over the career-wise of Andy Dalton, but his performance has been shitty the past couple of seasons. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Archangel said, make them respect you, Ritter. Show it on the field. The Riddler. Riddle me this.
Yes, sir.
3 Dirty said, is that the draft throwback hat?
No, man. I got this back when the throwback edition was going on at the bins. They had all the hoodies going out. Pretty much when winter hit, they came back out with a bunch of throwback stuff. I think me and Bodie grabbed his hat.
Miss B said, the great ones earned respect and their name by what they showed on the field. It's as simple as that. That's right. You have to prove it on the field to get the job done. You can't just talk about it. So Miss B definitely has a point there. You have to be about it. There's some teams out here that Washington, they're going to look at Sam Howell and say, is he the guy? Is he the future? Tampa Bay sitting there with Baker Mayfield. They're going to draft a quarterback probably.
Kyle Trask.
They don't have the faith in Trask to go get Baker Mayfield. And that's a slap in the face to Trask. Because it's like, dog, I thought y'all want to go franchise quarterback. I thought y'all want the future. Like, hold on, kid. You played at Florida.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough. Some teams are looking at it right now. The Jets were going to go back with Zach Wilson if they didn't go struggle to go get Aaron Rodgers in 19 years into his career.
Dude,
it's a Brett Favre move. After the Jets, he's going to the Vikings.
That's the retirement home for the Green Bay Packers QB. Retirement home.
And I'm trying to tell this Jets fan, like, your AFC East over there, it's not that easy as you think because you got Rodgers.
Those quarterbacks are stacked on the AFC, bro.
You have to play Josh Allen twice a year with that Bills team.
Yeah.
You have to play the Dolphins with that new defense over there too as well.
Yeah, it ain't going to be as cake as they think.
It's not going to be a cakewalk for the Jets because you got Aaron Rodgers. You're going to make that man sit on the bench. And Zach Wilson not coming there and play.
This guy's never played on another team. He's been a Green Bay Packer since he's been drafted. This guy's not a player that's been around the league. So, you never know what Aaron Rodgers will do in New York. It may be retirement home. So we'll see. Bodie, I need you on Dez's gutters, dog. He's already complaining about it in the chat. You need to get on that ASAP.
Yeah.
I don't even know why he's on Facebook right now.
Falcon fans, check this out, right? You're going to have fans who's supporting Ritter, and there's going to be fans who's not going to support Ritter. You're going to have fans that want to see Ritter get the job done, and fans is just like, didn't want to see him here in the first place, should have got another quarterback.
Yeah.
This year, week 1, he has to prove it. He has to prove it. Now, we saw what he did in the last 4 games, right? And fans wasn't too happy about the Saints game, throwing him in that situation. They wasn't too happy about the Baltimore game, too, as well. And then the Cardinals game, he was already at the playoffs. And then the Bucs game, which, people would say, oh, Brady played 2 quarters, whatever. Who cares? But still, you got to give him a chance. You have to give Desmond Ritter a chance. The team has been built around him this year to go win. The defense is built to get off the field on 3rd down, to get some stops, to get some takeaways, to get some more sacks, to really ignite this fan base. Because y'all keep talking about defense. Terry was cooking in that shit. He was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did. He stacked up. He brought a defense. Now, I understand that there's some fans that's like, hey, let's find out what Desmond Ritter does first before we all just, start buying jerseys and everything else. that is cool because every fan has their opinion and we respect that. We just know that fans, we want to win.
Yeah.
And we want to win now. And we have to
Gotta
support
have
our
it.
quarterback now. So that way, it just looks better as a fan to say that you support the quarterback right now until you see him do otherwise. There are some fans I know that supported Matt Ryan up until they see Matt Ryan start to just go downhill, then they jumped off the ship. I understand. There's some fans that just wasn't
from day one.
I know some fans that were dogging Matt Ryan, but I seen y'all in the bins and the dome cheering when we score. I see it.
That's back on Miss B's comment, with the Ritter thing. We ain't seen enough of Ritter to even judge him off of what he's done. They say players learn his respect on the field. We've seen 4 games. He's won 2 of them. He lost 2 of them. We got to give the man a chance to earn respect on the field. That
is true. And there's some Falcon fans that are diehard enough to say, look, he has to earn my respect on the field. And that is good. That is good because you want to see him play. You don't want to see no 1-4 start or no 1-3 start. Hell, 2-5. And you're going to be like, oh, there it is. There it is. Quarterback play, which is why Tyler Heineke is there to assist in a situation where if we need support, he is decent enough to hopefully still build this, rest of the year around so he can go out there and get some wins. But I'm all for what the team wants to do. I'm not out there in the weight room. I'm not at the facility. Terry's there, Arthur's there, the coaching staff is there, scouting department, everybody who needs to be there with Ritter is there.
Mm-hmm.
They see something in Ritter that we need to see too as well. So I'm rocking with the organization.
Right.
When the time comes, if he's not the quarterback no more, then he's gone. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna move on from it. But I just did 14 years of Matt Ryan too as well, and there's a lot of situations I tried to talk with fans like, well, look at this, and they're like,
nah, fuck Matt Ryan.
Nah, man, they pulled the Harold Pool on me. But it is what it is, and that's why we're still fans at the end of the day because I was a fan of Matt Ryan, and then once the situation happened, fans started, hey, you see that, Jack? Hey, he's gone. All right, cool, he's gone. Yeah. What's next?
Mm-hmm.
Mariota came. All right, cool. Mariota, let's go. Got the Ritter. All right, Ritter, cool. What's the situation? All right. Wasn't sitting here bashing.
Cool. He's real.
I just want to see the team win. I keep telling y'all, Country think he can be the quarterback of the team.
Sheesh.
Country, you can't throw 80 on the run. And I'm gonna stand by this. And this is for Miss B in 330, Atlanta Falcons fan in the chat, Dan Burris, Kiara, everybody, don't be surprised if I get the call this weekend.
It ain't happening, people.
I'm telling you.
Can be some mad fans, Jack.
I've been working out. I haven't been to the field lately, but there's a field nearby. But I got a football nearby too. I can do it. Just give me the call. Just give me the call. One time for the fans. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We lit. Got a lot going on in here. Kerry, exactly, Chase. Ritter deserves a chance. He only played 4 games as a rookie without even Pitts on the field. Fine, you want him to earn your respect, but as a fan, Falcons fan, support him.
Mm-hmm.
I know fans wasn't too supportive of Mariota and of Matt Ryan's career. They kind of went downhill. They wanted to see change. And there's some fans that kind of wanted Lamar Jackson. There's some fans who wanted CJ Stroud. I don't think Stroud's going to be the pick, but there's some fans who wanted Justin Fields. There's some fans who wanted Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people wanted Malik Willis last year. A lot of people thought Malik Willis was the pick when we picked Ritter. A lot of people thought it was Willis.
Let's all agree on this. Falcons fans, Bubba Gump said it took Josh Allen 2 years to get it going.
Mm-hmm. Took Patrick Mahomes 2 years. He's set for maybe a year. But he's set for almost a whole season.
Jabri Harper will be here tomorrow with us. Let's all agree on this. Even if you're not a fan of Ritter or you're a fan of Ritter, you're not a fan of Jesse Bates or you're a fan of Bates, Terrell, whoever. You got to be a fan of the team.
Yes,
got to be a fan of the team. And anybody who's on that 53 who can put a chance out there to win that game, you got to support. Right? If you don't want to, that's cool. Ain't no problem with it. But when we win, support. Mm-hmm. Tell fans that we won. Feel good that we won. Motivate others to start going to games and sharing and do other things like that. But at the end of the day, we want to win. That's all we want to do.
Yep.
That's all we want to do. Shout out to Miss B in the chat. Shout out to Archangel. Shout out to Carrie. Shout out to Atlanta Falcons fans in the chat too as well. He said he's getting a chance. He still has to earn the respect. Shout out to Miss B. It's just that simple. Nobody knows if you will be good, bad, great, or even elite. We'll have some sort of answer by the end of the season. That's what we're looking for right there from Atlanta Falcons fans, because we're going to find out.
Regardless, we're going to find out.
Eric Parker said it last year. He ain't even looking at that roster. Don't look at this shit on paper. Get out there and play on the game. Here on the podcast, we're looking at the names. We're getting excited, but they got to go out there and play as a unit. That team that went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, that team was every single play.
Man,
they were dogs.
Yeah.
Every single play. And I'm going to say it for every Falcon fan in here, and that's going to watch us tomorrow and later on. Drake, true statement. I just want to win.
No matter who's at the helm, just get a W.
Falcon fans, y'all can't. Let me tell you something. I've been with y'all almost a year, and we're going up on 100 show. If y'all bash me, if I get the call tomorrow and y'all start bashing me on social media, who the hell is this Jack Spade guy getting selected by the Falcons? But I'm going to tell you, I'm throwing picks all goddamn day. I'm telling you right now, I'm throwing picks all day. I'm going to be like, oh, y'all want to bash me? Okay, watch that. Boop, 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 boop. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, Falcons fans, we're going to be lit coming up this week. Tomorrow's going to be a big show. Of course, Monday, our 100th episode with Myles Garrett from Fox 5 Atlanta. Falcon fans, you have questions for Myles Garrett. You want to know about the Falcons draft. We're going to do a draft recap. Why did the Falcons select this player? What does it mean for this player? Because right now, if you're looking at the 53, most of our starters is in the building.
Yeah.
Majority of our starters is in the building. And they're ready to go. Now we're going to get some other players to come fill in what we need rotation-wise, and there could be some more starting spots too as well. Could we get a wide receiver 2 tomorrow? Could we get our true running back 1 tomorrow? I think if you draft Bijan at 8, he's your RB1. You can't put him back there and behind CP, and that'd be tough. You're going to play him week 1, but I think he'll be your RB1. No shot to Tyler. No shot to Tyler. You drafted a running back 1. Drafted a running back. This boy, you drafted him at 8. He's going to be the number 1 running back on the team. Week 1, he probably should be in there behind Ritter number 1. But then again, that's a shot to Tyler.
Sheesh,
so I don't want to do that. That's the problem with drafting your running back so high at 8, because you just had the guy who just gave you 1,000 yards last year gracefully, and then you're finna go draft another guy who is a high impact player. Dude is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But then Tyler's like, I can be the bell cow too.
Yeah,
I know it's going to help me out. I got no problem with it.
I remember he wasn't even a starter and he hit 1K.
He wasn't a starter too as well.
He was a starter.
That's right. That's right. The Falcons running back room last year, because don't forget, they brought in Damian Williams. Damian Williams was supposed to be getting some snaps too as well. He went down. Caleb Huntley had to go ahead and get some more snaps. He got injured too as well late in the year. CP and Tyler. They wasn't even using Avery. So expect to probably see a running back drafted this weekend. Could we get a wide receiver too, like DJ Towns said? Look at the wide receiver room. Drake London, Scotty Miller, Mac Hollins. Who else? You're going to draft the wide receiver this weekend? Possibly. But this is going to be a situation where we're going to be lit, right? Every Falcon fan should be lit for the team this season. Put on your gear, put on your Falcon hats, your shirts, jerseys, whatever, and just rise up and support with the team. Whatever name is called tomorrow, if it's a name that's on my big board, top or bottom, I'm still going to respect the call. I'm telling you, it's going to be what it is.
Whoever it is at 8, like Terry said, we're coming to make the team better. He's ready to make the team
join
better.
the team to make the team better. And if you do make another splash and move up somewhere in the first round, I'm going to support that too. I wanted to see Fitzpatrick and Justin Schaefer play last year. I'm a big Georgia fan. Big diehard Georgia fan. I didn't see him. How you think I feel? But I'm with the team, though. You understand? It's bigger than just the 2 players over there. This is a team.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to rock with what I see. But Falcons fans, let's be lit tomorrow. Let's get in the chat here and let's be ready at 8 o'clock. Chase, we had a great show tonight, man. This is going to be pretty much like tomorrow night. We went an hour and a half tonight, so this is gonna be pretty much similar to tomorrow with our special guests, and then Myles Garrett Monday for our full draft report. It's gonna be great. So we have some jam-packed Falcons content coming your way within the next couple days here. And I'm telling y'all, just please stay tuned with us. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. Y'all are great. Falcon fans, y'all are great. And at the end of the day, we all we got. We all want to be at the parade together. We all want to be there cheering, high-fiving, all that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't, man. I've been around Falcon fans that said they didn't want Matt Ryan quarterback. And then when he scored, but oh yeah, hey, high five, Jack.
Yeah.
High five, Jack.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Let's just do one thing. Let's agree on one thing. We all want to win.
That's it.
Anybody here to see nobody lose. We all want to win. Right? So shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all are some diehard Atlanta Falcon fans. And we'll be back tomorrow night at 8:00. Chase, any shout outs, anything you got to say before the draft tomorrow? We stupid lit. We are stupid lit tonight.
Yeah. So just want to give a shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. You know, everybody that's going to tune in tomorrow night and check us out for the draft special. Everybody that's going to, you know, respect our QB, respect our draft picks. Just shout out to all the Falcon fans. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, everybody on Facebook, Spotify, wherever you're listening to us at. If you get the chance, check out the YouTube channel, man. It's Chase_ATL. Do a couple shorts on there, a couple updates, you know, little previews. Just check us out. Shout out to you, Jack. Shout out to starting the podcast, man.
You see Chase right there at Chase_ATL.
Get at us.
ATL. That's how it goes, right? In the stadium?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just want to make sure I got it right. Lyrics Moms in the chat. Bubba Gump, Carrie, Miss B, Atlanta Falcons fan. Drake Shoe Statement, Archangel, Bodie 3000. So
I done told him to get off the phone, bro. I done told him.
So who's washing the car? God. Bodie's up here. He says starting in the league is outdated. If we draft Bijan, him and Tyler probably splitting. Teams are getting deeper and everybody's playing even more evenly now. That is true. So you list one as an RB1 doesn't mean he's going to be your full-time RB1. You're going to have players playing all over the field. And of course, when you got a dynamic duo like Tyler and Bijan in the backfield, and then CP2 as well, it's going to be crazy. But
it's going to get nasty.
It's going to get crazy. And it actually gets crazy all within 24 hours. Falcon fans, I'm just going to prepare you because you guys been here with us. Around this time tomorrow should be the pick.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had this chance to sit here and talk Falcons football for this time. But around this time tomorrow should be the pick.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your 24-hour moment right here, Falcons fans.
Let's get it.
Because last year it was pretty much the same thing. All the commercials, TV timeouts, the clock goes on the screen and it takes forever to go down to wherever it is, and everybody's just talking about, random shit. Be prepared for that. But we got enough content to bring y'all and enough to talk about in between time. So y'all just have a good time. Enjoy the night. Bodie, just leave the invoice underneath the mat, and I'll get to you in the morning. And Falcons fans, rise up. Be ready for tomorrow. Chase, I guess we'll just tomorrow. We're good to go. You ready?
Yeah, let's get it. Can't wait.
This is big, y'all. This is big. Hashtag one-timers. Hashtag the fan club. Put your ones in the chat. Use the emojis. Put your ones in the chat. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And our first guest is checking in with us. There it is. There it is.
Sheesh.
Right on time. Right on time. Season ticket holder, Harold Poole in the chat. Diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. That's his thoughts on Matt Ryan. I'm sure he's been listening to the podcast too as well. And he snuck it in at the right time. He was like, you know what? I'm going to snuck it in right before they get off the podcast too. It's going to be the last comment. They're going to love this shit. Put your ones in the chat, Archangel. Put your ones in the chat one time for the fan. We do go back and respond to the comments too as well. Have a drink, sit back, watch some mock draft. There's some NBA basketball, playoff basketball going on right now. tune in. I don't know if Atlanta United's still playing. I think they was playing in the U.S. Open Cup. Tune into that too as well, or check out some more One Time for the Fans content that we have on our channel. But yes, we'll be back tomorrow night, 8:00. Atlanta Falcons fan. There's so many comments here too as well. Facebook and Twitter, Facebook and YouTube kind of throw the comments all over the place. Carrie, you got a Twitter. Carrie will be with us tomorrow night too as well. Atlanta Falcons fan. She will be live. Carrie, we're not talking Manchester City, but she'll be live talking Atlanta Falcons football tomorrow here with us on our podcast, our draft party. So turn up with us. We'll be back tomorrow night. Chase, we're out of here.
Yeah, man. 8-town down.
Peace up. 8